So I was 22 years old, finally getting my neck out there in the rock world. This was late 2019. I had 2 hit albums, and I was touring all around the world. I was on my Deep Diver tour at the time. I was playing show after show, and for a while I felt unstoppable, which was my main problem. Being famous like that, thinking that whatever you do, people are just going to support and worship you. But that is far from the goddamn truth. The woman asks him, "So how did it go south?" Rob says, "It was one night. It was so quick. We were doing a show out in Washington, not anything unusual." As we see the crowd cheering Rob Johnson's name, we see the lights turn dark as the music begins. We see him come out and start singing. We hear him narrating through this. I got through most of the set. Then, it got near the end of the show and I was about to play my biggest hit, Regrets and Promises. But about midway through the song, I go into the audience and I play my guitar. The stage had a ramp that brings you down into the crowd. So I'm out there rocking, crowd singing, and when it's time to go back up the stage, I see this guy following me. I just thought it was a normal fan, but he was trying to say something to me. I kept moving, and he kept following me. I went back up the ramp and onto the stage. The song was ramping up, and I was getting ready to do my solo when all of a sudden this prick starts going up the ramp with this death stare, staring me in the face. Security was down there dealing with some other drunken idiots at the time. They got no cover on them. And the man starts walking towards me with a fucking knife. I didn't know what to do. I told him to stop, and he didn't. I took my guitar off of myself, and the woman says, "What? What did you do?" Rob says, "I swung at him, and I cracked him in the head with my fucking guitar. Blood went everywhere. His head busted open on the stage floor. He fell to the floor and he was dead almost instantly." The man and the woman look horrified hearing this, and Rob says, "That's the same look they gave me." Concert ended. They took me away and locked me up. I thought I'd get out. I thought they'd see that it was all just self-defense. But with all the news reports and the social media posts about me that week, people didn't see what it really was. People didn't see it as anything but that Rob Johnson was nothing but a fucking psychopath that killed his fan. So I was claimed guilty by the court and sentenced to life in prison. Just like that. My life, who I was, gone. The woman says, "So how long were you in jail?" Rob says, "Just one winter. Come the next year, the reanimated corpses became a thing in this world." The man asks, "Was prison as bad as they say it was back then?" Rob says, "It wasn't as bad as expected, actually. I mean, I had to blend in with some bad people to survive, but a lot of people had it a lot worse than me." We see Rob sitting in the cafeteria. As he's talking with some of the other mates in there, we see one of the guys saying, "And then I just let her have it. I killed her so fast and I got my money from that stupid bitch and I got busted, yo." Everyone laughs, and we see Rob is clearly fake laughing, and he's just doing it to blend in. Then the news comes on in the background as we hear, "There was a murder downtown. A 34-year-old man brutally killed a woman and her 7-year-old daughter in their house, not even an hour ago." The woman's name was Linda Miller, and the little girl was Kim Miller. They say the man that murdered these 2 individuals is named Chris Williams. Officers claim that they are still on the search for him as we speak. The guys at the table are still just talking over it, but then he sees a man at the table, all alone, crying, as he starts punching some of the prison guards, and he yells to one of them in particular, "I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kill you!" As we see the prison guards take this man away. The woman says, "Damn. Yeah, it sounds like others had it way worse in there." Rob says, I may have lost my career, I may have lost my fame, but there's some people that have it worse. A lot worse. That's for damn sure. Anyway, not longer after that, I kept hearing news reports about a virus going around. But I didn't want to believe it. I think we were all in the state of denial at the beginning of it all. We see him sitting in the cell as we hear two guards passing by, and he says, Hey Doug, Lincoln, I'm sorry for stopping you both, but I've been hearing some stories on the news about the dead coming back to life and killing people. I think they also mentioned that they eat people alive when they come back. That's all just fake news, right? We see the guard says, The news says what it says. And we know you think the news is fake. We've had some discussions about this 1,000,000 times over. You won't be seeing much of me for the next 2 weeks. I'll be away with my family. So these conspiracies will need to be shared with not only someone else, but someone who actually gives a damn. Everything is going to be fine. Besides, the world ain't going mad. We are. Rob narrates, and that's what those two idiot guards said to me. Till one night, I woke up in my cell, and my cell door was opening. Guards were turned into reanimated corpses. Another prisoner was eating one of the guards alive on the floor. It's horrific shit. And I saw my chance to get out. So I took it. But on my way, I found the keys to a van on one of the guards. I had to kill a few of those reanimated corpses on my way out, which wasn't difficult, seeing how I already hit someone in the head out of self-defense anyway, so I didn't care at that point. As we see him making his way out of the prison, we see him make it to the van as he tries to get it to start. As he looks relieved as he sees it works, Rob says, and I made a getaway. And somehow, I'm still here. The woman says, well, I know it's not your proudest moments, although thanks for sharing. As we see the woman says, we better all turn in. Got a lot at stake right now. Tomorrow we find our people and we find out what the fuck's going on. The man says, works for me. As they put the fire out and go inside for the night, we then see Rob trying to fall asleep, and then he remembers him escaping from prison.